Speak up. Like legit.
Hello. What's the deal? Wait 1 second. Welcome to the 10th episode of the Speak Up Live Community Talk Show. Today we have a topic special this discussion. Um, 1 second. We already have our guests lined up. You will hear me soon. 1 second. I need to bring you in. 1 second. So yeah, we're gonna. Yeah. Okay. Okay. 1 second. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So let us know if you have any questions for this topic. It's called pay-per-view in a breaking community, as Groovy Session is doing a pay-per-view this weekend with 4 invited crews. We have 4 special guests. We got Moy from Break Free from the US, Roxrite from the Squadron from the US, Tyrone of IB from the Netherlands, and Artur of Group Session from Switzerland. So if you have any question, let us know. We got basically 4 topics ahead of us, and let's just start with it straight up. We're gonna have 4 guests, 4 video windows, and I'll be just the host. I'll be just the audio. So let's go. This is B-Boy Moy. What's going, bro? How you
What's
been?
going on, man? Good, man. On the grind, busy. So excited to see what everybody has to say about these topics.
That's what's up. We got Roxrite all the way from California.
What up, everybody?
You can hear us well. Everything is good.
Yeah.
We got Tyrone,
Hey, what's up, everybody? All the way from Rotterdam.
and we're gonna bring.
There he is.
And we got Artur. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Yeah.
So everybody's doing good. Some of us are on a tight schedule, so let's go straight to the topic. Artur, can you please explain to us your pay-per-view model, which is going down this weekend, what it is about, how is it gonna work?
Yeah, man. First of all, what we need to talk about regarding to Groovy Session is what we've been trying, For us, it's the most important is like to pay the artists, no matter if it's the judges, the DJs, or the B-boys. We need to find solutions for them, because right now there is no sponsors, nothing. I mean, on our side, it's really hard to find solutions with sponsors. So we tried this model with the donation mode, And the first edition was doing good. I mean, we were surprised. We get like 2,600, It was really dope. But when we get back to the counts and see from where it came from the money, we realized that it was most of all from our dance school students, like the parents and stuff. And then the second one, it was getting less money, like 600 or whatever. And then the last one with the big girls was like 163 USD. So that's not possible, So we was thinking about what we should do. We was still looking for sponsors. We still are looking for sponsors until today, until Saturday, because if someone appears today, we can put him on, it's not a problem for us. But it's really hard. So we came out with this idea to do a pay-per-view, and our model, it's easy. I mean, it's 3 episodes because we have 4 crews, and each crew will battle every crew in 3 episodes. And for all of these 3 episodes is going to be 8 USD. That's what's gonna happen on Saturday. So you will be able to see these crews battling on the tournament format and HD quality. Every crew have 3 angles of cameras, so it will be high quality, no delay with the music. We just try new stuff, and it looks amazing, and hopefully the people will follow on the pay-per-view. If it's not the case, it will not be a problem for us. It will be a problem for the guests, and of course for us, because we feel responsible to find solutions for them, But whatever, no matter what will happen, we try. We have to try. We have to try to find solutions. And for now, that's the only one we found.
Amazing. I mean, when you approached me about this pay-per-view like a few days back, like I was like, I support you 100% because I see what you guys have been doing. Like this is already like fourth online edition, and you've been killing it with high-level production. And so you have my full support, and this was also a great thing to do this talk show, because I think this is very important, especially during this time when, as you said, like we don't have physical jams, we don't really have sponsors, but we still want to support each other and dancers. My question is, did you also pay for the video production or the camera work at the, where the crews were like filmed in their dance studios? Like, did you cover basically all the expenses, or they did it on their own?
No, I mean, no. Everybody take care of their
Yeah,
material,
yeah.
technical stuff. What we bring, it was the live. Like they was able to battle each other really like on
Mm-hmm.
time and see the other guys, and no delay with the music because we fixed this with the B girls already. So that was already a level up. And no, but you say, like you said, you support straight up, and everybody that I ask for judging, for battling, for DJing, or to promote the event, everybody says yes, let's do it. I'm with you. And the first one, nobody knew what's gonna happen. Maybe everything is gonna fucked up or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
like the community, I was not impressed because I know how it is, the community. I've been traveling, and it's always the same. Like the people are where I go, I'm always welcome. And if the people come here in Switzerland, it's the same. So I know the culture, I know all of this, but
Mm-hmm.
still, the people follow 100%.
And I actually saw the pay-per-view. You sent me the link just to give you a feedback, and it's really high level production. Like every detail that you guys cover is definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it. And I don't know if you guys, Tyrone or Rox, or if anybody else saw this. Like maybe you guys can give Artur feedback as well.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, what we did is that we send the links to watch already the round one of these crew editions to Moy and to Tyrone also.
Yes.
Okay, so what is your feedback, Tyrone?
Yeah, I watched it yesterday, and I was very
We
surprised,
cannot hear Tyrone.
And
You
I
can? We
I
can?
can't. I can't.
I
You
can.
guys can? Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Uh, Say again, Tyrone. Try
I
again.
was very surprised, and I liked it a lot.
Hmm.
Especially, I've been watching the Groove E sessions, and this was a level higher again, and I liked it that they really took care of the presentation, the studio setting from where Artur was talking, the DJ, the quality, and what I also liked is that they gave all the three or four crews three cameras,
Yeah,
and that was
exactly.
very nice to see that there was some special editing going on, and the crews were very aware of the cameras, so they were playing with it and making it very entertaining.
Mm-hmm. Nice. What about you, Moy? Did you see
Yeah,
it?
yeah. For me, honestly, I have not seen all of it. I started it. We've had busy weeks. Also, trying to do similar to what Arthur's doing with our online events. So I've been tied up with testing and running prelims online. This is the first time, an online competition is running live prelims. So it was a bit challenging but fun. We got through it, 4 different categories. But I think it's a special thing, man. And I think that regardless, even if it was bad quality on every side, I think that the initial investment to make something happen for the scene is extremely important. So I want to give nothing but the utmost respect to Groovy Session and all their team, because it takes a lot to do something like this, man. And I agree with him, about not getting the support from the community, because from the surface level, it's so easy to see like, oh, you know what, it's just another promoter trying to make money. But from the back end level, they don't understand how much money it takes to be able to operate something like that.
Exactly.
Our team, it's a team of 20 something staff members that works at Break Free, and everyone is coming in extra hours, staying extra late, devoting their time and passion to this, you know, and luckily for us, we're fortunate enough to have our team on salary, but like, you know, and still give out good prize money for the event. But at the same time, you know, it's not really sustainable. It's not sustainable. So moving forward, it's something that, you know, if we don't start to attract sponsors or people, or the scene doesn't start contributing, it's going to go away. You know, I hate to say that, but from a business perspective, you know, the P&L, the profit and loss doesn't work. You know, it doesn't work. You got to be able to generate something. You gotta treat your artists right. You got to treat your judges right. You got to treat the organization and entire infrastructure right. So, you know, I agree with what everybody's saying, especially with Artur, about like, you know, it's almost an emotional thing when you would kind of expect your scene to step up and support you, but then you realize it's just the parents and the kids from the schools that you're teaching. And trust me, when he said that, I felt the exact same thing, because it's the absolute truth. And to be honest, I don't want no more from our parents or from our kids. It's already a big win, them taking classes from us. As a parent, it's hard to trust to leave your kids with other people you don't know. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, that already just shows us a big ton of respect. And you know what? We're talking about pay-per-view, and we're talking about like what needs to happen to create sustainability or revenue generation in the scene. But in reality, what needs to happen first before that is the scene needs to get out of this egocentric mindset. Everyone always feels like they're competing with one another, or we can't support this person, or we can't support that person because they're sponsored by this brand, or we're from different crews. Yo, forget that, man. I've been this whole week, I've been pushing back the core values of hip hop, right? Peace, love, unity, and having fun. If unity is not represented, I'm sorry, we're not going to scale up. Those accomplishments that we see down the road, we're not going to get there, you know, without having each other come together to be able to be supportive of one another. So it's hard, man. So I know what Artur is doing with Groovy Session. I know, first of all, even without seeing it, I know how this man works, and I give him all the utmost respect on his professionalism to accomplish something that takes so much work, you know. And on the second side, even if it was the worst event in the world, somebody is trying something when a lot of people are sitting at home. You know what I mean? And right now we're trying to keep the scene motivated, and it takes a lot to be able to accomplish something like that, especially when even from as a businessman, like we're experiencing losses, we're experiencing so much. You know, we have to close down the schools, and I don't just operate one school. I have 4 schools, and we have to shut them all down. You know what I mean? And so, but everybody still has to get paid. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
I agree 100% with the fact that yeah, we need support and everything, but at the same time, I feel this support. It's just that the people are not used to it. You know, like donation, you have to go there, you are watching the live, then you have to move, enter your visa, you know, all this stuff that you are not used to it. It's not maybe because the people don't want to support it. Maybe they won't, and they are doing it, watching it. It's already a support, and a big one. And the second thing I really agree, it's that it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, we must try something. We must try. And if you give all the energy that you have, you will live with the results. So at the first edition of Groovy Session, we was ready that everything fuck up. Of course, we did all the tests. We did already 2 lives on our side, you know, with my students. Actually, the first Groovy Session was with my students, 8 of my top students, and we did it. And then let's see what happened with the international ones. But, you know, just to say that we must try. I totally agree.
I have to give you respect for that, you know. It's like what Moy is saying and what you are saying. But we just have to also acknowledge the fact that
I cannot hear nobody now.
Nobody?
Yeah, you here. Tyrone is speaking, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah,
I was saying we have to acknowledge the fact that this is a new. These times never happened before, you know. Yeah. Corona and all the social unrest that's happening all around the world. So there will always be only a handful of people trying to really explore new avenues, and a handful of people trying to do something no matter what, and trying to make a difference, or trying to bring something new to the table. And the masses will always, they always wait, and because it's something new that's been done. And so I don't yeah, I know the feeling that, sometimes the community, you expect more from them, but I know that a lot of people, they appreciate the initiative.
Yeah, for
They
sure.
appreciate whatever we're trying to do right now. And sometimes even they expect it from certain people, and that's what I don't really like that, because they expect some certain people to do something or to say something, um, and which is kind of easy. Like, okay, well, Tyrone's going to do something, or Cross is going to do something, or Moy must say something about this, or Rox has to say something about this. That's the difficult part of it also. But I understand people that, especially in this time, that they also, like, they don't know really what to do. But I know that a lot of people appreciate any initiative that's been undertaken right now. So
Yeah. Yeah, and I agree. I also agree with Arthur about, like, people definitely are supporting. They're just not familiar with this new process. You know, signing up registration forms online, going through the process of submitting a payment. I mean, it's not that we're not used to that, because I know a lot of people do online shopping. That's for sure. It's been happening for years, but it's just something that our scene is not familiar with. And it's a I wouldn't even say it's a lack of education. It's just a lack of a certain amount of people trying to do new things, right? And it's scary, man. It's scary. It's not easy to take a leap of faith and try to accomplish something that might work and might not work, because it comes. There's so much that comes with it, I guess. Like, if it goes wrong, you're gonna be talked about. You know what I mean? If it
Mhm.
goes right, you're gonna be talked about in a positive way. Like, and you don't know. It's 50-50. So with new things, it's always scary. So I agree that the support is there in terms of like the viewership and people tuning in and loving the concept and what's happening. But when you break it down to dollars and growth and scalability for breaking, it's going to be very tough to get there if people don't start to believe in it a little bit more, without actually having to ask so much questions. Something that I've learned is it's important to ask questions, but there's also some people that you just kind of have to trust, you know, because of their career path. Like, if Rox did something tomorrow, like, trust me, I'm not even gonna question it. I'm gonna believe that Rox has good intentions. And if somewhere down the line I found out that he didn't have good intentions, at least I gave him the benefit of the doubt to believe, because
Mhm.
I know Rox's career path. I know Tyrone's career path. I know Arthur's career path. We could only do our best to trust these people, right, with what they're doing. And if something goes wrong, man, you know what? We're human beings. Hopefully, we can go back and make a wrong a right. But at the end of the day, we have to put some type of trust. If we question and butted every single thing we do, we're never going to get nowhere. We're never going to get nowhere. It's important. Again, I don't want to kind of sound contradicting, because it's important to ask questions. But if you have a question for every question, you're never going to find an answer. You know what I mean?
No,
Yeah, I
for sure.
mean, I think the problem is, the infrastructure that we built in the scene. Everything's been free for so long already
Mhm.
that everybody expects everything to be free. Of course, people pay for events. Of course, people pay to, go to these jams and win prizes and all that. But when you look at the way we promoted the product, which is our dance and competitions and stuff, we've already given it all for free. So by that, we shot ourselves in the foot already. So having to restructure that and having to rebuild that and having pay-per-view is a great way to start, because that's something that we have to create more sustainability within our own community, but also for the artist, the promoter, and everything that we're doing. It has to grow somehow, because if not, we're always going to be stuck in the same shit, basically. Um, so I think it's important as a b-boy to understand that we do got to support. We do got to go out there and show the support that we can give these people that are trying to do things, you know, with Arthur's pay-per-view or with Moy's Break Free stuff that he's got going on. Like, these are things that need to happen. Like, however you can, like Moy said, support, unity, share. That's one way, but the real way is that we ourselves have to restructure this approach, because a lot of the think about it, we give it all for free, and where do we get, like, who and then gets anything for free events online? Like, you put them online, and like, when it comes to business, like, it's just marketing dollars being spent, but we're not even getting marketing dollars for that. Like,
Yeah.
YouTube's not going to pay you to live stream a battle. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, at some point we have to change the whole format and restructure it. You know, I remember meeting professional urban skiers years ago, and they told me about what they were doing. And yeah, they would put a little bit of stuff online for free, but they were packaging their stuff and selling it to brands to reach their audience that they had, which we have a great audience. Our demographics is huge, from like 14 to 28. That demographic is a huge for any brand. So the fact that we're not taking that and utilizing those statistics to sell it to a company or to promote it to a company, we're making big mistakes on that side of the endorsements. But I think it's just important for us to really make a change, because if not, we're just not really gonna keep growing on that side, you know. And we always preach that this culture is like, you learn it for free, everything's free, of course, right? But some people actually have the opportunity and the chance to continue to live this life on a professional level, where you're able to make this a career path, right? For that to continue to grow and blossom, we have to find ways to bring in revenue within our own world. And I think that's where we lack the most. And
Yeah,
I think it's a start.
I definitely agree with that, and I think that for the most part, we're doing our best. We're being proactive. You know, we're being proactive and creating opportunities and projects and initiatives. You know, Squadron just came off. You know, you guys did a strong initiative. I know it was for a cause, but at the same time, it shows what you can do when you come together with a group of people who care about the same thing, and you get this result. You know what I mean? And if you take that same formula and you apply it to everything else, that's exactly how it works. It's I know it's easier said than done, but it's really that simple. You surround yourself with the right team, you put the work behind it, you'll get a good result. You know, but if you don't do those things, you won't get a result. And so number one is definitely, you know, you have to create a list of action, right? Like, everybody knows what needs to happen, but there's no list of actions that are applied or implemented that help you get there. You know what I mean? And I think that that's, if there's something that is lacking, I definitely think it's the list of action, because everybody knows the results and the end goal, but there's no action that takes you to the end goal, right? Everybody wants the sponsorship, everybody wants the endorsement deal, everybody wants to get paid, but the list of action is almost like forgotten, and people kind of expect for the list of action to kind of fall in their lap, where in so many cases we're part of a dance that's so freestyle oriented, right? At least take that approach into creating opportunity, where it's like you almost have to take a risk and create an initiative, create a project, and hopefully it'll get you to a level of a result that you're proud of. And if you don't, maybe you got very near, and that should be another boost of motivation, that if, man, I got close, let me try this again, I can get there.
Definitely.
What are your guys' suggestions as far as like changing this mentality, like this egocentric, you know, behavior? Like, you know, like, for example, I win a jam and I'm gonna spend this money outside of the community. You know what I mean? Like, this is becoming a standard.
I mean,
Andrew, I never heard that, and I really don't have the feeling that the B-boys don't want to contribute. All the people that I have around me, the people that I invite or whatever, I feel they do everything they can to support your event, to come, to promote, like always. Like, for me, I feel really crazy how the people invest so much energy into actually my project, you know. No, of course, we're doing this together, and I think they understand this, and they do it. So even with people, because now we're talking about maybe people already really involved on the scene and really be doing battles and stuff. But regarding to people that are trying to get in and trying to I think also they can do something, and they are trying. But we as a b-boy has also to propose something. What we've been proposing, it was working. Okay, not maybe on the craziest level, and with the pay-per-view we are not trying to do McGregor stuff, you know. We're just
Mhm.
trying to try something, you know. Maybe it's not gonna work, but I want to figure that out myself, you know. And I don't have the feeling that the community doesn't want to help. Like, for me, it's the opposite. I feel the community wants to be part of it, but we have also to give them options to be part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But I was just like, my idea was like, okay, somebody wins a jam and they're gonna go and buy like Nike T-shirt or something like this instead of buying like Menno Leisure or Fang and Furious. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
basically taking the prize money, taking the money from the community outside instead of reinvesting it back to the community.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
this
I
is my
think,
point of view.
Mhm.
I mean, I think with that, it just comes with culture. And as you know, hip hop has also been a very trendy sort of fashion lifestyle. You know, like people always go for the next thing, the next thing, the next thing.
Yeah.
So I don't, I agree with you. I mean, I think that, people should reinvest into the clothing that comes from our scene, right? But to change that whole mindset is hard because that's also like hip hop is about being fresh, about standing out. And the brands that we have in our scene, they're doing great things, right? They're creating a new lane for us, but also they're not giving the youth and these people that are putting their money into what they're wearing, they're not giving them the type of fashion necessarily that they want to be wearing. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind
Mm-hmm.
of like you have like on one side people would just support to support, which is awesome, but this is the reason I feel like a lot of people don't support it is because of stuff like that, and it's unfortunate, but that's something that we as the community have to kind of also take accountability for, right? Myself included. Like, oh, maybe I should be buying more of, like Mental Gear or Legits or Biggest and Baddest. Like that type of stuff is like something that we have to be conscious about and make that thing in our scene. I think we have to really start kind of finding ways to educate people on that and actually showing what it actually is doing, right? Like say the Legits is taking that money to the fund outbreak and give out the prizes at outbreak, and same with Moy with his stuff, CYE, right? Create Your Escape. Like you're taking that money and this is like what it's doing. Like I don't think people fully see that. I think a lot of people just think that you guys are like selling all this clothes and making all this money, and it's like it's just in your pocket. But when in reality, like those things help fund other things. And I don't think people fully understand that or see that. And I think that's where a lot of the differences of understanding in the scene come from. But it's definitely necessary to support. And I mean, when you look at it, right, we all buy Nike shoes, we all buy these like clothing that lines that have never funded anything in breaking.
Mm-hmm.
Not $1 I have seen from Nike. I put money in Nike, I never got $1 back from it. They haven't thrown one gem for us. They haven't sponsored nobody, right?
We're mad.
All these, and it's like, but yeah, we're still gonna go do it. So I think as a scene, we have to realize the power that we have when it comes to purchasing as well, and yeah, just be more accountable and in a way, put your money where your mouth is as a b-boy. If you're like, oh, we need the scene to grow and we should have all these things, like, okay, well then put the money into the scene,
Yeah.
and then maybe then it can be provided back, because
And,
it's just it's I don't know, I'm
and
kind of getting lost, but yeah.
I want to piggyback on that because I think what Rox is speaking on is extremely important. It's going to be so hard to change the mindset of people of something that we're so used to. The reason why we buy Nike, Puma, Adidas, whatever, right? Louis, Gucci, whatever you buy, right? The reason why we buy those things is because it's been a cycle that we've been a part of, right? It's there is a fan base for these clothing lines, and we watched it as kids. We've walked Michael Jordan, we watched LeBron James, we watched these people wear it, and it becomes that. Breaking right now doesn't have that. We have only at an underground level who we look at, the Roxrites, the Mennos. We have that, and we do. The B-boys are rocking that gear. They are rocking that gear. But where you need the support is for the people that don't know about breaking. That's where you're going to get your money from. It's not from the community, right? Obviously, I think the community in so many levels, I'll use myself for example, people try to hand me stuff and I just pay for it because I think that's the right thing to do. I don't want it for free, And so I think the issue isn't our community supporting our community. It's just that our community is this big compared to everything else. And so right now, currently, breaking doesn't have a fan base. Why? I am a supporter of like breaking moving into the Olympics and stuff like that, because now breaking goes from, let's just say, 1,000 people viewership to 100 million people viewership. And when you're at 100 million people viewership, that means there's an influx of money or capital into the community that allows for brands to grow. Like, oh man, that's a breaking brand. Let's support that. Because now you have everybody following, the culture of breaking. So you build a culture around the fashions within the community. That's what Nike did. That's what Converse did. That's what Puma did. That's what Adidas did. Those brands did not become anything special from an underground level. They became special when somebody wore it and expanded on it because they were on a certain platform. Currently, Biggest and Baddest, Funky Furious, CYE, the list, Mano Leisure, the list goes on. The reason why they're not where they're at, it's not because it's not good quality clothing. It's just they're not on the right platform. They're on the right platform from a breaking perspective, of course. I don't want to sound like I'm discrediting the lines, right? But they're not on the right platform for it to return the amount of money that it should be seen because it's such a dope product. Same thing like a B-boy. If I see a dope B-boy, the B-boy, like Rock said, is a product, right? We're so used to selling ourselves short because we're used to smaller platforms. We're not used to bigger platforms. So we're scared to ask for more money because right now, at any point, any money is a necessity and it's helpful to us. But if it's on a different platform, your value increases because now you're talking to a different type of platform, right? And so that's kind of the challenging part when it comes to having an understanding of product, the definition of a product, which is, the brands that we know within our community, and also us as dancers, we're products, right? That's why some of us have sponsorships and things like that. But right now, we don't have the following to be able to generate sustainability or a correct model that will get us to the next level. So I think that, I think that we will get there. There's no doubt in my mind. If not, I would have stopped doing this a long time ago because I'm trying to push for sustainability in our scene. At the lowest level, let's just say creating Break Free and giving 20 something people from our scene job opportunities, things like that. It's a start, but at the same time, we still kind of have a long way to go for our local brands to become bigger brands. But I think that it's just about all of us together believing that we can get there. And that's what I was talking about, surrounding ourselves with the same type of mentality. And that doesn't mean that we're all going to say yes, right? Because that's a bad thing. Because people have to play devil's advocate and we have to know the yeses and the nos. But at the same time, the result has to be the same, right? It's almost like all of us four right here, if we've taught worldwide, done workshops, whether at a business level or at a breaking level, if we taught, we all teach differently, but the result is the same. You know what I mean? And that's how we have to look at it. So when we come together, it's just like, man, we're all in this together to find that right result that we've all been looking for. We're all going to get there different ways, but we have to find a way to get there. And I think even having this discussion is a good start to that because it really sheds out a lot of light to be able to get people to understand what we're dealing with and what needs to happen to be able to get there.
But Moy, you don't. I'm sure. I'm also sure that we're gonna get there, like you said. But I'm also sure that there is people that don't want this. When I say don't want this, is that they want to stay on hip hop culture, and I will be also on it. If we don't get to the hip hop industry, I have no problems with that. We can stay on hip hop culture, and I think there is space for everybody. Again, that's really my thinking. There is people that can take the boat to go to the hip hop industry, and have still people that can stay on hip hop culture and throwing jams for free and with no views or whatever, just having people together. And that's the amazing thing about breaking. There is spot for everybody and for every ideas.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and that's not what I'm saying. So I'm just speaking about from a professional standpoint.
Yeah.
what needs to happen to be able to accomplish that.
Mhm.
I'm gonna tell you, I'll be the first one to tell you right now, because if I've been breaking 25 years and if I didn't see anything that I was seeing from breaking, you know, I would still be breaking, because I just love the dance. So you could take the sponsorships, you could take everything away, you could take the opportunities, you could take it all away. I've been there and I've done that.
I
You
know,
know,
man.
Yeah.
I know.
very
Yeah.
very few people will really understand that, because from a surface level, or you hear somebody talking about business, they can get it really twisted. But you have to learn, people have to learn how to differentiate the two. It's not, everything is not always personal, and our scene takes everything too personal, and that's a problem. You know, that's a
Exactly.
problem. It's not
Yeah.
ever personal. It's about helping people be successful in what they love to do. If I have an opportunity to help somebody be successful, I will do everything that I can to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why I also believe, like, when people say, "Oh man, I haven't hit you back because of this," to me that's BS, because I know I'm a busy person, but I'm never too busy to prioritize someone who wants to be helped to get somewhere. I will tell you that right now. If someone reaches out to me and asks me for help, someone reached out to me the other day for saying, "Hey man, I want to hire you for this." And I said, "Hey man, I don't think I'm good for the project, but how can I help you? I don't even need anything. How can I help you? Because I believe in the initiative." We need more people to be like that. And I know that's tough. That's tough to do, but like, when that's what I'm talking about. People believing to be able to accomplish something has nothing to do with like diluting the essence of breaking, because I'm all about the essence of breaking. But at the same time, we have to understand from a professional level. I'm about to be 37 years old. You know what I mean? I got 2 kids. I got a house. Like, I'm sorry, but like what what the scene currently has doesn't really take care of my family. It doesn't. You know what I mean? I've built certain things to help me take care of my family. I love what breaking has done. If it wasn't for breaking, I would not have the mindset that I have. So I owe it all to breaking. That's why I constantly, at a free level, I'm always pouring into people in whatever way that I feel like I can be helpful. And I'm not saying I'm the guy to do that, but it's just in my heart. It's in my spirit to be able to help, because I know how much breaking has helped me. It has really broke so many boundaries of really trying to understand, you know, and the one thing that I from a personal level, not business level, that I want is just, I just want people just to be able to work together. I feel like that's been the hardest thing, man. I feel like the hardest thing when we first did our online event, it was like, "Oh, but Groovy Session did it." And I'm like, "Man, that's awesome. Great. I'm not trying to compete with Groovy Session." You know what I mean? That's awesome. The first thing that the scene thinks about is that we're trying to compete against one another. And that's,
Really?
oh yeah, everybody.
No, man.
If you haven't got that, I need your type of people, bro.
No, really, no, I didn't. And I don't know how it's possible to think like this, because, you know, it brings so much, like, you guys bring your ideas was totally different, and was amazing to see all these people around. And I think that all initiative are good if you're doing with the heart, and really, like, it's something that you feel inside. No matter what, it's gonna be good, man.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. And that's why all I could do is give a ton of respect to everybody that is, doing something. When Squadron was doing their initiative to raise money, man, I was just sharing their stuff, as much as I could, because it's important. It's a necessity. You need to do those things. When Groovy Session, like, I was sharing it, I was talking about it yesterday all day on our live stream, and what you guys were doing. We shouted out all the crews that are competing on there. You know what I mean? We talked about it. Like, those things are important, not only to showcase that, like, Break Free is a company that cares, but also that we're part of the same community that has the same goals, trying to do something very similar in a different side of the world, and sometimes we forget about that. And so, with this whole, I know, let's get back on the topic of like pay-per-view, but like with this whole pay-per-view, man, like, the concept of it is beautiful. Like, I hope that it works, and if it doesn't work, doesn't mean we should give up. We just gotta keep trying, gotta keep trying,
Okay, what is your perspective, Tyrone?
Well, for me, it's like, I think there's a duality going on, like, we're very protective of our scene, and it's beautiful because we all acknowledge that beyond language, skills speak the most. But we've been living on this skills speak the loudest for like 40 years. And I've seen so many, great people that maybe not the best b-boys or b-girls, but they have a talent in something. They have a talent in arts, in finance, in whatever field. And we should allow those people to stay in our community, or even we should aspire to surround ourselves with people from outside our culture that can learn us something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that is very important, because or else we're gonna stay at this level. And all the smart people in our community, I meet a lot of b-boys and b-girls my age, that have left the scene a long time ago, because they were like, it wasn't attractive anymore to them. But once you start a crew that's, once you start teaching, or you start doing an event, or you start doing your dance school, you're going to meet parents, you're going to meet old buddies again, old b-boys. They're going to come back to you and say, hey, how can I contribute? You know, uh, I love it, and how can I help you? And I think that's what's happening. Um, oh, I'm sorry. I think that's what happened. Um, is happening right now all around the world. That um, the the generations right now there's a very good balance of people that actually want to do something, and that have the understand that they need other people from outside our community to help us, and they're not fearful of becoming a sellout, or anything like that. I always use this example, like if you would have asked the skateboarders in the 70s in California who were skating in the pools, and if you would ask them and say, one day a kid will be a millionaire from skateboarding, of course, at that time they would have said, no, it's not going to happen. But it happened. And I sometimes ask this question to b-boys and b-girls. Do you believe that one day a b-boy will be a millionaire from breaking? And they always say no. And there you have it. If we keep believing that it's not going to happen, then it's not going to happen. Because if we believe that, we won't find the energy to do new things. We don't find the energy to explore new avenues. And we keep on, keep on, locked within our own bubble, so to say. And this is why I think it's very important that we start believing that the people that want to do change and want to do something new, they're not doing it because of they want to make big money or whatever. It's just for them. It's like when you break in, you want to make new moves, and it just keeps you on it. But some people also have that with their creativity. And that creativity, the things that they learn, like Moy said, the things that you learn in the b-boy scene, it just helps you find, outside the community, when you join a group of people and you see that you have a different vision, and that's because of b-boying. That's because of b-boying taught you that. So why not use that also? You know what I mean? I meet business people sometimes, and that say, wow, how did you get that perspective? And I say, well, that's what I've learned from the hip hop community. That's the way that I feel the world. And they're so amazed by it. So I think we should let people from outside into our culture, and we should dare to take our creative ideas, what we've learned into the culture, to take it outside our bubble so things can grow.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's also about creating standards, and like Artur group session is doing a pay-per-view. We were actually planning on doing pay-per-view for Outbreak Europe this summer, and we wanted to put like part of the pay-per-view towards the prize money, so b-boys and b-girls could eventually earn more money at our jam. And I'm hoping this structure would actually work, and more jams would actually start doing this, and this could create a standard across the scene. And I think this could be a step forward. So I'm actually glad that Artur is doing this, and that's why we're also doing this discussion. So What about you, Rox? Like, what is your perspective as far as like the pay-per-view from the competitor perspective? You know.
From a competitor standpoint,
Yeah.
I think it's necessary to do something different. You know, I think that we already have all the events right now, especially with what's going on. Not being able to go to events in person is obviously having a big effect on a lot of people. But you still have the opportunity to show your talent and what you've been working on online as well. And something with pay-per-view, I think it's something that needs to be done. I believe that something needs to change already years ago when it comes to this type of stuff, because it is something that will create more work for ourselves, but also just provide more uh, revenue for the prize money for the talent, but also just hold more value for what we're selling. You know, like if we're gonna have an event and you're gonna sell the event, like when you have pay-per-view and stuff like that, and you're taking your time to be creative, like having 3 camera angles and stuff like that, like that's like stepping up the production value. And as a competitor, you want to be a part of something like that. You know, I mean, look at boxing, look at other sports and stuff that
Mm-hmm.
utilize these type of ways to bring in revenue, right? They do pay-per-view fights. Why do you watch pay-per-view fights? To see who's gonna win, right? Like you're seeing like top contenders fight each other. I mean, obviously, this is a way to start with having like crews established, like the ones that Groovy Session is having. That's a way to start to provide those type of events. You know, when you look at a boxing event or a sporting event, it's kind of you have like 3 fights, right, leading up to the main event. Those are the
Mm-hmm.
type of things that you could include into some of these tournaments, like have exhibitions with like 2 world champions going at it from 2 big events, make them go at it like for real. Then that creates value. Then you have the tournament, then you have another exhibition, then you have the other tournament. You know, like give them something more to pay for. As a competitor or as a viewer, you want to be able to be at the event and be like, oh, I want to see, I don't know, like, you know, Victor and Manuel go at it like 15 rounds. You know, like just
Mm-hmm.
provide something different in between to give worth to something that people want to pay for to watch online. And also, it's just something to try. You know, I think it's something that needs to uh, be kind of highlighted more for the individuals, because obviously you win all these titles, you do all these things, but then when it comes to the event,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think his mic went out.
Yeah. Let me write to him. Can you
Yep.
hear us, Rox?
I think
What about you, Moy? What is your perspective? Like, do you guys plan on doing pay-per-view
yeah,
anytime
man.
soon? Let me
You know,
write to Rox.
it's definitely. Oh, Rox is still talking.
Let me write him a message. Like, can you hear us, Rox? We cannot hear you. We cannot hear you.
We lost you, Rox.
What happened? Yeah.
I have to say also, I cannot hear Rox and Tyrone, and I'm hearing them on the actual YouTube live, just to say it.
Really? Okay. I don't
I
know
could,
what's going
I
on.
could hear everybody except for Rox now. He just went out. But I will say this. You know, it's definitely was in our plans as well, running online events to be able to do something like that. Obviously, you know, we started some of our events, you know, asking a contribution fee, not even like a registration fee, but like contribution, where it's like if you feel like you're led to contribute. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, but you know, it's difficult times right now, man. It's difficult times. It's such a weird time in the world. A lot of people going through so much, and things are changing every single day. That it's difficult for people right now. You know, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. A lot of people losing their jobs. Businesses are taking huge losses. But you know, it's definitely something that Break Free has thought about in terms of like being able to, you know, uh, run a pay-per-view type concept for our events. I think it's great. I think Artur, you know, taking the lead on that with his event is a great step moving forward, and hopefully we can
Mhm.
all to do it one day to be able to generate, you know, either prize money or more money for the artists or judges, because you know, at the smallest level, if you know, organizers are not receiving the sponsorship dollars, that money has to come from somewhere. So and if it
Mhm.
doesn't come from somewhere, it's going to come out of somebody's pocket. And then if these pockets keep getting dug into, it's going to keep, like I said, it's going to be tough for sustainability. So you're not going to be able to see these events anymore, because at some point you're going to have to give up. You know, it sucks to say that, but it is what it is. And so, you know, I'm all for the concept, and I think that definitely down the road, Break Free will try to attempt to do something like that, and hopefully get people to understand and familiarize ourselves with the process. I kind of made a joke earlier on our live stream about like because I'm always having to tell people to flip their screens or flip their phones or do this, and hopefully like after 2 or 3 events we familiarize ourselves with this new process. So it's kind of fun for now, but I think that after 2 or 3 more online events, people will get used to it and it will become a thing in our community. I actually have to step out now. I have a call at 1 o'clock regarding about online events and trying to find a way to continue these events. And so I think that we're on the right path, man. And I think you can hear it from everybody's voice and how much they care, right? We just need everybody to be supportive and patient, because through this process, it could be challenging and difficult. And, I heard Artur talking about he had to put his daughters to sleep. When I heard that, that's a direct connection with me as well, because I have kids. But like, you think about that and what the man wakes up for every single day to work hard. People forget that. And I talk about that all the time, about like, you have to have your reason why you wake up every single day. And if you don't have a reason why you wake up every day, then think about it, because it'll motivate you to accomplish what you're looking for. My kids, my wife, my team, Break Free, the people I care about, like, they're the reason why I get up every single day, right? And I'm doing my best to be able to accomplish my why. And when I surround myself with people like you guys, it's inspiring, because again, everyone is saying the same thing, maybe a different approach, but the end of the tunnel has that same result. And I don't care if I have to scrape a wall, be tripped, left behind, rocks getting in front of me, and then I'm taking the lead or whatever. But as long as we get to the same place, we all come out winning. And that's all I care about. This is not about who's doing it faster, who's doing it better. It's about just doing whatever it takes to get to the next level. But yo, guys, I gotta go. I got another call in about 5 minutes. So much
Moy.
love to all you guys, man.
Peace, man. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Moy.
For sure.
We'll be in touch.
Take care, man.
All right, Rox, can you hear us now? Can you say something? Oh, can you try to log out and log in? And we continue with Tyrone.
MG, I just want to say something regarding to the pay-per-view, because
Okay.
you ask everybody, what they think about the pay-per-view, and we're doing it. So, but we're doing it with one purpose. It's to support the B-boys, the DJs, and the judges, because that's the only solution that we found until now. I'm not sure that what I want right now is to have this kind of discussion to think about, because we know we need to go deeper into it. And I wish to have people, they explain me why they don't want this. I really talk a lot around me. I call friends and everything to know what they think about. And I wish to have people on the forum or whatever to tell us some real things, why they don't want this and why it's not good for our community or whatever. But now with these online competitions, we have no entries. Nobody is coming to the event physically and pay for entry, and no sponsors. So that's a way. But man, this is, for me, pay-per-view can even work after this COVID shit, after these online battles. If the B-boys are pay-per-view, we are not actually doing a pay-per-view. We are doing a support per-view. That's the reality, But anyway, if we have to go to this business model, we have to pay the B-boys per view. And that's what I have in mind right now, but I'm open to change. I want to hear everybody's comments and everybody's ideas, because it opens our mind.
I think it comes from people being afraid that this is gonna go change our community, and
it's not.
I mean, yeah, I don't see it changing anything, but and it seems that every generation has to gets to deal with something. I remember that live stream, maybe I don't know what is it. I don't know who did it first, but there wasn't live stream 10 years ago, and then there was like webcam, and from webcam we got live stream, then we got live stream with commentary, and the scene's still beautiful, and nothing really changed. So, but it's inside people, and they fear, and maybe the word pay-per-view is a bit ugly, it's because
Eh,
Super,
well,
super preview was nice. That's actually a
it
good
is
idea.
because it's actually
That's Mario's idea from our team.
Okay, shout out to him.
that's good.
Yeah,
it's
no,
actually
really,
what you're
really,
saying,
and that's the
Artur.
reality. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
What were you gonna say,
So,
Tyrone?
I was saying that it's um, it's actually way more than just uh, money being flowing into his pockets. That's really not the case, and I
Yeah,
hope people understand that throwing an event or doing something, or even a small battle or a big event, there's a lot of people working, and there's a lot of the b-boys want to be, need to be treated right. The DJ, there's so many people at work. So if you try to look for more ways to have a better event, then I would always support that. But it's just that the people start to learn, the community starts to learn also a bit about the economics of how things work, and it's a bit weird because we all have a Netflix subscription. We all have there is companies making so much money off YouTube and platforms that we don't own. So that's we pay those things. We pay your phone subscription and then watch battles on live stream. So
yeah,
if you can have own something like that, like Artur says, you have to go to his website and do the pay-per-view, then at least see it that way. You don't paying Netflix, you're not paying NBC, you're paying Groove E-Session, and it's way cheaper. Plus, you're supporting the community.
yeah.
exactly.
I think people are scared of. Well, not scared, but people gotta realize that everything can coexist. You could
Exactly.
have the big events like with all this prize money and all that, but you still have the underground jams that still need to happen. Like those
We
things are still
must.
gonna be there, and b-boys are still gonna support from all levels. When you look at the guys that go to the big events, they still go to the local jams, they still judge local jams, they still compete at local jams. Like that doesn't stop. It just seems like people in the scene seem to be stuck on that mentality that you're not keeping it real because you're going there. Like you have a bit of that divide still where it's kind of counterproductive. Of course, you want to be raw. Shit, I'll show up to your jam and battle you for free in the cypher. That don't mean shit. I'm saying? I'm still gonna show and battle you. I'll battle you at a club. I'll battle you at your practice. I don't give a fuck. Like you may see me up there. I'm gonna be endorsed, but I'm gonna still smoke the shit out of you. That's how you gotta think. As a b-boy, that's the mindset you should have. But if you're only thriving for that big ass prize money, and that's how you seem to show online, and that's how you seem to promote, then obviously people are gonna understand that you're not about like the true essence of this dance, right? Like if you're just like, oh, I just need the big money, I need the big prize battle, like, but you ain't doing no local shit, and you're not really out there putting your name on that line like that, then that's gonna show where you stand, right? And those are the people that you got to decide how to support them. I think that the events are there for us to go and provide our talent and get, those are platforms for us to highlight our skills that we've been developing. But as a b-boy, if you're not preserving that mindset and ideologies of like what hip-hop represents, then that's where we're losing the cause. And I think that's where a lot of b-boys seem to kind of just promote those big things, you know what I mean? And they don't talk about like the other shit that they be doing. But I think that's where the divide comes from, right? Is because you have people that are kind of like, oh, well, you shouldn't do this for a living. And some are like, yeah, why not? Like for me, I worked a day job till I was 26 years old. I quit my job on my 26th birthday. From that day on, I didn't go back to a job, So I did this because I loved it. I was like already in my 20s battling fools in my 20s. A lot of guys in their 20s weren't competing no more. They were already doing Hollywood gigs. They were already doing industry work where they weren't relying on going to a battle on the weekends. I would like battle on the weekends, fly back, deliver pizzas on Mondays. Like I was still like working because I just loved competing. I loved battling. I loved dancing. And this is what I love to do. There was not something that I was gonna be like, oh, I'm going to just start breaking full time. It was never really that. So the opportunity kind of just kept presenting itself. And then I took the jump. But yeah, it's a process, man. I think people have to understand that you do this because you love it, but there's also has to be growth within our own community, and that sometimes equals a professional side. and for us to get to higher levels and have those opportunities to have millionaire b-boys. I think it's possible. I think it's just a matter of time and education and self-awareness and community awareness and accountability within the scene as to where we're headed, and people's really being responsible for the things that they're doing, you know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the way I see it, the pay-per-view could definitely be one of these options for b-boys who actually want to make a living out of it eventually, you know. Maybe not now, but let's say 2-3 years from now, when the audience will be much bigger, it's not going to be only the scene, but actually the fans of b-boys and b-girls, you know, then it's easy to make living out of this, you know what I mean? And this is just like an extra platform, extra option for guys who decided to go this way, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that everybody needs to do the same thing. This is just the extra option. So
yeah, it's not for everybody. Some people can go to college, get an education, and decide to break on the side. There's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some people, you know, were able to do that, you know, like to go and break for a living. Like for those that did make it to that point, then there's nothing wrong with that either, you know. But you have this divide where the scene, I feel like sometimes like makes you feel like you're wrong for doing what I'm doing. Like for me, being sponsored and doing what I'm doing, I've seen, and even now, right now, with everything that's going on, I've seen people like take little shots and shit like that, you know. And it just kind of shows people's character, and you're kind of like, all right, well, for a minute ago, I thought you were cool with people being doing what they love, but I guess you're really not, you know. And that's cool, ain't nothing wrong with that. Like now I know where you stand, you know. But it's just kind of you have this divide. It's like I didn't make it, they shouldn't make it, you know, and that's whack, because it's just like everybody has their own reason to get where they're getting to. And some people, like myself, I didn't go to college, I didn't do all that. So then guess what? I went all out in breaking, and I happened to move forward in breaking as a career. So, you know, I think it's people have to just kind of stick to their own and do what they love to do for what they want.
True.
Mm-hmm. There is a quick question from the audience. What if local jams stop to exist?
It will never happen.
Yeah,
Because it will always be someone that wants to throw a jam or even a practice, you know, with the friends or whatever, with the crew, and around the crew there is people, other friends, so it's already a jam.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, even going to like
Exactly.
say you go to a bar and they're playing all hip hop for the night, you're gonna get down there as well. You know, like people forget that there's also like that part of hip hop culture, and just the dance culture is like go to a bar, get down with all the other dance styles, and just represent. You know, like that's also a jam in itself.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys have any final thoughts before we promote the group session? Like, do you want to say something for the audience, the guys that are watching or will be watching this? Tyrone,
don't be so close-minded. Nah, just think on a bigger scale of things. You know, I feel, of course, being raw and preserving a certain like ideologies and things of the culture is important. We're all trying to do that still, but don't stop it from growing. Like let people like take the lead if they have to. Let, you know, whoever is ahead and doing their thing, that's what they're doing. Don't knock their hustle, you know. Let them progress, and if you can help and support, if you believe in the cause, and support it.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Tyrone? I'm just gonna leave you Artur at the end so you can promote the live stream. Tyrone?
Yes.
Any final message?
I would just say, you know, support it, man. Everything that's new, embrace it. Check it out. If you don't like it, then okay, then you don't come back and you do your own thing, you know. But the most negative thing is to talk negative before you've given it a chance to grow. You know, don't talk things down. Groove Session has proved itself. There's other organizations that think about pay-per-view. Man, didn't we have this pay-per-view Hong Ten versus?
Right? People are mad about it.
Yeah.
Physics. Yeah.
You know, why we have to go in circles, you know? And so, yeah, I'm gonna watch it for sure. You know, I support everything that Groovy Session's doing. I hope they continue on this path. I hope other people can continue and explore new avenues and new ways of making our scene more beautiful. And yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for having me on this chat.
No, for sure. And now let's have thank you, Tyrone. And let's have Artur to, you know, to wrap it up, to finalize it, and just tell us where people can find the pay-per-view.
Yeah, so it will be, Jinjo, Predators, Foundation, and the Ruggeds battling
Mhm.
on the tournament format. So we will be 3 episodes. Each crew will battle each crew, and with the final ranking, So where you can find this, it will be Saturday, available in our website. You have all the infos there, groovesession.ch. And basically that's all you need to know, man. It's high quality, high quality footage. The b-boys are high quality, already, because the names talk for themselves. And they did
Yeah,
an
for sure.
amazing job. They get ready for it, seriously, like they get ready with routines and everything. And yeah, man, for us it's just amazing to have these 4 crews on the same setup like this, battling each other from all over the world. I mean, there is people like 10,000 kilometers away from each other and still having a discussion exactly like we are doing right now, but with the dance. And this is amazing, seriously. And if you want to support these artists, you just go to our website and watch it. And like Tyrone says, you watch it and you take your decision and leave your comments. Tell the people around you, like, you don't like it, you write it down. You don't have to say write only if it's a good thing. No, write if it's bad, if it's good, if we can do better, or if you have ideas. Already today I talked with my friend Nuno, and he gave me some more ideas yet already. But
Mhm.
it never ends, and that's the beauty of it. We can always find
Exactly.
solutions. And like Moy says before, we are not doing anything else to apply our b-boy mindset, because I grew up with b-boying. I don't know anything else. I didn't earn my money with battles like Roxrite, and I have so much respect for this because it's so rare. How can we find solutions for people can live with battles and no gigs with shows or whatever? No, we are on the battle culture. I mean, I feel that I'm on this culture, and I wish to find solutions for these b-boys that wants to make a living out of battling, out of jamming, out of breaking, how I see it, and what else? I think that's it, man. It was amazing to
Amazing.
talk with you guys, and let's see what's up. And no matter what, we will grow from there.
Yeah, thank you. Much love again, Artur, to you and to your team for putting this together. As I said, I watched a little bit of it and it's amazing, high level, 3 angles, like definitely worth it. So, guys, please watch it starting Saturday, groovesession.ch, Swiss website, right? And
Yes.
support Groove Session, support all the Crews Foundation, the Ruggeds, Predators, and
Jinjo.
Jinjo. Exactly. So Saturday, thank you again, Tyrone. Thank you, Roxrite. Thank you, Moy, who's already on another call. And hope to see you guys soon in person one day after Corona is
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. As soon as
And
possible.
Yes.
exactly. And stay grinding, stay healthy, stay safe. And thank you again for being part of this.
Thank
Yeah.
you, guys.
Thank you for
Much
having me.
love.
Good
Okay,
seeing you
bye
guys.
bye.
Take care.
Likewise,
Take
bye
care.
bye.
Peace.
Peace.